We've talked a little bit about the new right-wing television channel, Newsmax TV. One of the hosts of Newsmax TV is former Arizona Congressman J.D. Hayworth, a Republican. J.D. Hayworth interviewed Ben Carson. Ben Carson is this Republican, African-American neurosurgeon who is completely out of his mind and has become a kind of he's been championed by many on the right, number one, to prove how unracist they are, because here's an extremely conservative black guy that we can point to who, in the midst of touting all sorts of crazy conspiracy theories, says some things that we agree with. So he's become kind of a poster child for not racist Republicans. He was interviewed by J.D. Hayworth, and he says, if you really want to know where President Obama's thought process is on a number of political issues, there are two places you can look. Listen to what those two things are.
Dr. Carson, some people are going to hear your words and they're going to say, wait a minute, Dr. Carson is calling President Obama and Attorney General Holder communists. Are you doing that?
My answer would be the same. Read the book. I just gave it to you. Read that book, The Naked Communist by Cleon Skousen, and read, Mein Kampf, and read the works of Vladimir Lenin. Read them yourself. I tell people, don't listen to what I'm saying. Read it yourself. I think it'll make a much bigger impression on you.
Right. Mein Kampf, reading Mein Kampf will tell you about President Obama and his worldview and his motivations. And reading the writings of Vladimir Lenin will also inform you as to where President Obama is in his mind. Ben Carson has also previously claimed that President Obama wants to turn America into Nazi Germany and a Gestapo-like state, and also has warned that because of President Obama, we are now living in a Gestapo age. I actually think, Lewis, that Ben Carson is one of these guys who is so uninformed and or wrapped up in the feverish anti-Obama hysteria that he might think that Hitler was a communist. I'm getting the sense in how he talks about Mein Kampf and communism that he thinks that Hitler was a communist rather than a totalitarian dictator.
Well, there were some socialist policies and things happening in Germany at that same time.
But that's the thing. The American right can't distinguish between elements of socialism, which exist at the micro and macro throughout history in any number of societies. Go back and look at the levelers of the 18th or 19th century, completely disconnected from genocidal tendencies. And they like to wrap it all together and say, listen, anyone who has any socially democratic or democratically socialist ideas is indistinguishable from a madman who wants to kill millions of Jews and did it.
Well, luckily, when you're slandering the president, you can say anything and much of the country will believe anything.
And let me add one other note. For all of those who are going to write in and say, David, Hitler was clearly an atheist, as if it matters whether an individual was an atheist or not when they committed crimes or did good things or bad things. Have you actually read Mein Kampf and counted the number of references to God? I would encourage you to do that before you write to me saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. I have a feeling, Lewis, a lot of these people have not even opened the book Mein Kampf.
Could very well be. There is certainly a religious aspect to Hitler.